Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's July 24th, 2018, America. This is the legislative outline for rebuilding infrastructure in America. I skimmed through a good chunk of this, and it's not good. So, how Donald Trump decided to fix the infrastructure is through public-private partnerships. Basically, he is attempting to sell our infrastructure off to corporations. That's the private part of the partnership. Basically, any entity who wants to rebuild a particular part of our infrastructure, and it don't matter if it's a foreign country or, or a corporation. So they'll be able to invest in a particular part of the infrastructure, such as water, and then control that resource. So, if, say, for example, the Chinese government wants to buy the water system for Flint, Michigan, they can buy it and upgrade it, but of course they'll get the profits from that entity, and it will no longer be an American owned or locally owned entity. So, that's his solution, to sell off our infrastructure. Here's an overview of public-private partnerships, and they write it in such a way that that kind of whitewashes exactly how bad it is, but we'll still go over it anyway. So, public-private partnerships are contractual agreements between a public agency and a private entity that allow for greater private participation in the delivery of projects. In transportation projects, this participation typically involves the private sector taking on additional project risks such as design, construction, finance, long-term operation, and traffic revenue. Okay, it says it right there, and traffic revenue. I will read that sentence one more time because it is the key to what I just said to you. Public-private partnerships are contractual agreements between a public agency and a private entity that allow for greater private participation in the delivery of projects. In transportation projects, this participation typically involves the private sector taking on additional project risks such as design, construction, finance, long-term operation, and traffic revenue. So, this infrastructure is supposed to belong to the people of the United States. The people of the United States have been paying taxes on this infrastructure forever. And because these politicians have stolen our tax money, they are going to be forced to sell off chunks of our infrastructure to foreign corporations. I mean, the Bank of International Settlement could theoretically buy chunks of our infrastructure. The Chinese, the Japanese, anybody. So, this is what we're looking at here. We're already owned by the Federal Reserve. So, why not, continue to sell off our assets until there's nothing left. Anyway, I thought I would share this with you because this is Donald Trump's solution to our infrastructure problems. In this opening statement here, it says, "I have enclosed with this message my administration's framework for rebuilding infrastructure in America. Our nation's infrastructure is in an unacceptable state of disrepair, which damages our country's competitiveness and our citizens' quality of life. For too long, lawmakers have invested in infrastructure inefficiently, ignored critical needs, and allowed it to deteriorate. As a result, the United States has fallen further and further behind other countries. It is time to give America the working modern infrastructure they deserve." And of course, one last thing about this, these corporations, these stakeholders as they're called, they will be pushing to invest in the mega regions. So, Donald Trump's infrastructure plan, it sounds a lot like Agenda 2030. So, you think this dude is doing great things for our country, but he is trying to sell our infrastructure to other nations and implement Agenda 2030. Anyway, hope you all have a great day. Remember, kill the state before the state kills you.